the Divorced Girl Smiling Podcast with your host, Jackie Pilosoff.
No one should have to go through a divorce feeling alone and isolated. The Divorced Girl Smiling Podcast is a production of Divorced Girl Smiling, where every show is 30 minutes aimed to empower you, help you feel validated and understood, and connect you with some of the best divorce professionals in the industry. So grab a cup of coffee or a glass of wine and start smiling as you join us right now for the Divorced Girl Smiling Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found and always at divorcedgirlsmiling.com. Before we get started, I want to talk about when a divorcing couple decides to sell the marital home. That decision can add layers of anxiety and fear to an already stressful divorce. And because the divorce is the reason they're selling the home, homes often need improvements and renovations. So when I heard about Renovation Sells, a nationwide company that will assess your home and then quickly design and construct a remodel, I felt like this was a huge problem solver. Their streamlined process could help you get multiple offers and such a higher price versus just dumping it as soon as possible and settling on a disappointing offer. I love this company. I really trust them. If you want to learn more, go to renovationsells.com. I also want to tell you about a wonderful team of divorce mediators. Ellen Feldman and Brian James are a team of mediators, and their company is CEL and Associates. I have known them for over a decade, and I will tell you they have a great reputation. They're two wonderful people who have been working together since 2007. What's really nice about Ellen and Brian is you get both of them in your sessions. So they co-mediate everything, and it's the same rate as if you only had one mediator. If you want to learn more about Ellen and Brian, you can find them at celandassociates.com. And you can find both CEL and Renovation Sells in the Trusted Professional section of Divorced Girl Smiling. I cannot tell you how many women and some men that I talk to who cannot stand online dating, but they keep doing it. And they say, this is awful. I can't meet anyone. So it's the biggest losers out there. It's frustrating. It just makes me feel bad about myself. That's what I want to talk about today. The subject is online dating really worth it? My guest who came up with this idea, I just love this, is Lori Gerber. Lori is a dating after divorce coach. She's been in this business for 20 years, coaching thousands of individuals. Hi, Lori.
Hi, I love talking about dating online. Thanks.
Okay, so Lori specializes in dating after divorce. And Lori, do you hear the same things from your clients who come to you for help? Like, is this all really worth it, or should I just be alone forever and just call it a day?
Right. That and worse. Yes. The whole gamut from sometimes people are legitimately excited occasionally, especially at first when it's like, "Oh my gosh, look at I'm free. Look what's out there." But usually very soon after people get jaded, they get cynical, they get tired, they get this thing called dating fatigue, and they allow a lot of negativity and negative theories from friends, family, and their actual experience online to really dampen that excited spirit they may have started with. So yes, by the time they're to me, they're pretty upset about what they've experienced online.
Okay, so let's talk about how we can get people from feeling that way to having a better experience. And that's a lot of what you do in your coaching program. Tell me, you said in this article you wrote for Divorce Girl Smiling, you wrote, the online dating exhaustion is real, but so is the potential. And I know that feeling of disappointment, frustration, people ghosting you, and you're just like, wait, why am
Right.
I being treated like crap from somebody who doesn't even know me at this point? So
Right.
is the potential really there, and have you seen it?
100% I've seen it. The statistics are there. You can look them up, but we know that you can find statistics to prove any theory true. And if your theory is negative, like there are no good ones, or I'm not going to be able to find somebody, or these don't work, you will, because of unconscious bias, prove your own theories true. You will selectively see evidence that confirms it, and you will selectively not see or not remember evidence in favor of it. I am personally the most obnoxious cheerleader ever because all I want to tell you about is all the people I've worked with who have found people online. If you're online, why wouldn't someone like you be online? And if you're looking for someone 10 times better, maybe not, right? But if you're there, there is a very good chance that there are others like you there. So
So
it's
so what's
crazy
the
to think,
what's the disconnect? Why aren't people meeting people?
well, people are, statistically speaking, a lot of people are meeting people online and ending up happy, but there are many obstacles to that. I've actually made a list of 34 obstacles.
All right, give
And
me a few of the biggest ones.
that's what I'm doing with my clients. But for starters, there's always the mindset, right? So like I just said, if you have negative theories and you go in with negativity, you go in not believing it's going to work out, unfortunately self-fulfilling prophecies are true, and you will find that. So if your mindset's crappy, don't even bother, right? Just wait until you're in the mood to go to the mall, right? When you ask your friends to set you up, that's like going to your friend's closet to borrow a
Mhm.
dress, and they're your size and you like their style. But if you go to the mall, it means there's 20, 30 stores. You're you're not even going to be able to look at everything. You're certainly not going to expect to like everything. It's a hunt, and you have to have that mindset.
Okay, but what if somebody is like, "How do I get out of my negative mindset and get into my positive mindset?" Do you just have to wait, or is there a way to get out of it?
That's a great question. And I will say, for folks who have not fully processed their divorce, that is usually one of the big reasons why they're still in a negative mindset. They haven't healed from their divorce. They haven't fully resolved their divorce. They don't feel like they know what the lessons were they were supposed to learn. They're afraid they're going to pick the same bad choice again or get hurt again. So, if you don't have a coach, a therapist, a support group, to resolve your divorce, that's one of the things I would suggest you literally do. I do something called a divorce detox with my clients for that reason, right? Because you specifically have to process that hurt. I also think you have to process all your past hurts in love, understand all your past patterns in love, and even understand your parents' patterns in love, because all of that stuff is subconsciously playing out in your mindset about dating. So that's to
Because
answer your question, how?
if you go to the mall, you're gonna buy all the wrong things if you don't do this work ahead of time.
You actually will just hate the experience, and you'll enjoy complaining about the experience of the mall to your friends, and then they will complain back about their experience of the mall, and everyone will be high on complaining about the mall and eating pretzels and cookies instead of doing what it actually takes to be ready to date and have fun doing it. So that's why I said I put my daters in 3 categories: on the bench, in the game, and then early dating, right? In falling in love. So on the bench is a great stage. That is the stage where you're working on your mindset, you're doing your divorce detox, you're making sure you know what you want, you're making sure you know your past patterns, you're making sure you feel good about yourself. You're happy with your body. I mean, not being happy with your body is one of the number one reasons women don't get excited to get back into dating. If you were in a marriage for 20 years and you didn't take care of yourself, now all of a sudden you got to get naked with a new person. Ugh,
Okay, but
it's
Lori,
an
we're not
obstacle.
on here telling people like, okay, before you get back into dating, we want you to lose 30 pounds. We're not talking about that. We're
I don't want
talking,
them to lose 30
right.
pounds.
What we're talking about, I love how you said they're not happy with their body. All that means is get the clothing that makes you feel good. Go work out, not because you have to lose weight, but so you have a better emotional state. Um, do things that make you feel good about yourself because when you feel like, "Oh, I look so pretty," it's gonna be a completely different dating experience than if you go in there and go, "Oh, I hope he likes me because I hate this sweater and I really don't like the way I look tonight." That's never
Right.
gonna work.
You are knocking down obstacles with every sentence you say, right? If you
Okay. All
don't
right. What
feel
are
good
some
about
of the
yourself.
other ones?
Okay, so let's say you're happy with yourself, you're feeling good about how what you learned from your past relationships. You kind of understand your patterns. You've defined and articulated what you want. You are dressed, in a way that makes you feel sexy and comfortable. Now you have to start figuring out, okay, which dating site. And again, this is a whole module in my online course. This is a whole conversation. It's not the same for, I mean, there are so many dating sites and there's only more coming, right? More dating sites and apps. So which are the best ones for you in your location based on what you're looking for? Are you looking for casual? Are you looking for long term? You now need to hone in on what are the best two sites to start with. And then you need help with your profile and your pictures, right? If you're going to go on and just throw any old thing up, of course you're not going to have a good time. It's like going to the mall in heels. No, go in sneakers. Go in clothes you can easily take off. Right? It's like, do not make it harder on yourself. It's not going to be fun to be on a dating site if you don't have great pictures and you don't have a great profile, or you don't have time and willingness to do the work to look at the things, right? Like just you don't go to the mall and think you're going to go in and out in 5 minutes. You're going to, let's say you're looking for the perfect outfit for an event, you're going to have to go to a few stores and go like this. And then you're going to take 10 things to the dressing room and only two you're going to like.
Mhm. Okay, I didn't even realize that you had to pick a site. I just figured, oh, go on Bumble. I mean, it didn't even
Well,
occur to me that there's
great.
other sites. Okay.
There are. There are
Okay,
so
I
many.
wanna get into we
Yeah.
have to take a break, but when we come back, I wanna get into what some of these other popular sites are that people might not know about, and then
Yes.
I wanna get
Yes.
into a little bit of Q&A about digital dating and whether or not it's worth it. You're listening to the Divorced Girl Smiling podcast. My name is Jackie Pilosoff. I'm your host. My guest is Lori Gerber, dating after divorce coach. Lori and I are talking about, is online dating really worth it? We will be right back. I want to take a minute and tell you about the Divorced Girl Smiling free consult. So, I basically decided to do this several months ago and it's working out really well. Basically, you can sign up on the Divorced Girl Smiling website for the Divorced Girl Smiling free consult, and you get 30 minutes to have a personal conversation with me. It's free, it's all confidential, and you can tell me all about your divorce situation. I will listen, I am not judgmental, and the reason for the call is so that I can recommend the best divorce professionals for you to connect with so that you can have the best divorce outcome. I have no agenda here, and there's no obligation to work with anybody that I refer to you. My biggest goal is to help you get a really good divorce outcome by helping you connect with people who are a good fit for you. Financial advisors, divorce coaches, real estate agents, mortgage lenders, divorce attorneys, therapists, and other divorce professionals. If you want to sign up, just go to divorcedgirlsmiling.com and click on book a free consultation. I also want to tell you about a wonderful mortgage lender named Tracy Flanagan. Tracy has been a mortgage lender for several years, and she truly enjoys the business, but she said what really meaningful to her is working with people going through a divorce. Tracy works for a credit union, so the rates tend to be less, and she can help people in all 50 states. I love Tracy. I really trust her. If you want to learn more, you can find her at greenstate.org or in the trusted professional section of Divorced Girl Smiling. Welcome back to the Divorced Girl Smiling podcast. My name is Jackie Pilosoff, and I'm your host. Is online dating really worth it? That's what we're talking about today. My great guest for this is Lori Gerber, dating after divorce coach. She's been doing this for 20 years. She has so many wonderful success stories and so much great advice. And we both think, right, Lori, that yes, it's worth it. So we're going to motivate you to get back in, have the right mindset, and meet the love of your life. Okay.
It's worth it with the right mindset, strategy, and tools, right? It's not worth it if you're not gonna go in with the right mindset, strategy, and tools. You will exhaust and disappoint yourself. That is what I have learned from my 10,000 hours of experience coaching daters.
I think it might be more than 10,000 hours. Okay.
It is, it is.
All right. What are some of these other sites? Like I literally know about Tinder and Bumble and maybe like something with a bagel and coffee or something like that. Those are the only
Yes,
ones I've
coffee
ever
meets
heard of.
bagel. Yeah. Well, maybe you're not busy dating online. So, coffee meets bagel is actually a pretty good one. I kind of like it. I like Bumble. I like Hinge. I like OkCupid. I like Match.
All
Or
right,
now I
Lori, though, give me a little one-liner on the differences
sure.
between what these are.
Oh, well, I have a 36-page guide to the differences, so it's going to be hard to summarize. But essentially, there are the sites that are about personality matching, like an eHarmony or a Elite Singles. That's much more about they're gonna take you through a very long assessment to try to match you. They're trying to match make, but digitally. Okay, versus a site like a Tinder or a Bumble or a Hinge that's much more just like a mall, right? You're just looking at pictures and little profiles and swiping and choosing what you like. Both, it really depends on your style and the kind of person. I would say the Match, eHarmony, Elite Singles errs more on the side of more serious, but plenty of people find serious relationships on Bumble and Hinge and OkCupid and even Tinder. Although you'd go to Tinder if you're looking for casual. That's where you'd go if you're looking for casual, but goodness knows relationships can develop out of there too. So what I really want to tell people is stop obsessing too much on which site, figure out the one that works with your technology. Some apps are only on the phone and they're not on your desktop. So if you're I mostly coach women over 50 and I'm over 50 and I love my laptop. If I had to be on the phone doing I forget it. Like I'm not even gonna do that
I don't
now.
know how people can
So
even see. I can't see. I
I
need, like,
can't
a whole
see.
thing.
I can't
I
see,
know.
and my thumbs are too big.
Mhm.
So honestly, I would pick your site based on are there a lot of people in your area, which you can Google, number one. Number two, is it the vibe you like? Is it catering to your age group or your culture? For example, there's Christian Mingle and JDate. If you really want it to cater to something specific about you, and then is it easy to use? Do you like the interface? Is it user friendly? Do you like the customer service? So I have my clients pick, things they've heard work for their friends who are similar and try the 1 month trial. It's going to cost you more to do 1 month versus buy the package. Of course, they want you to buy the package. Don't buy the package. Spend another 25 bucks. It's okay. Just see if you like the dating site.
I love
See
that.
if you like it.
Now, are there dating sites for political views?
Probably. I don't know. Probably. But here's what I would say about that. Everybody is sorting for that on all the dating sites. I don't suggest you make it clear in your profile because it's too likely that somebody will pretend they are something they're not. As
Oh.
everyone's doing anyway. What I recommend you do is you describe yourself in other ways, describe yourself. If you say you love the New York Times and you know, were
It's
at
a
the last
subtle
rally for
hint.
blah blah. Yeah, you can
Uh-huh.
dog whistle what it is, but you don't want to say clearly, I'm a this, if you're a that, don't apply. Because first of all, that's negative. And second of all, then somebody can fake it if they think you're cute. What you instead want to do is ask them a question over text or in your first conversation live. How was the last election for you? What do you feel about the state of America right now? You just ask an open-ended question. You don't
Yes.
show your hand. You ask first so they show their hand and they don't know yet how to manipulate you. You'll get the honest answer.
Okay, now I love this advice. And I want to say I'm not a dating coach, but tell me if this is good advice, Lori. If you do this subtle hint and then somebody comes back and you guys go, "Oh, thank God. I'm so happy. I'm so relieved. This is great." If you come back on opposite ends, be very classy and polite about it, and don't get into a big political fight because you just wanna have a reputation of being like a normal, nice person. There's no reason to burn that bridge. You're not gonna change his or her mind. Just move on, but be
Mm.
classy about it.
I mean, this is how we get tired, right? Is picking fights where
Mhm.
there's absolutely no benefit to you to pick the fight. So I would extrapolate, I would actually extend what you're saying even further, which is to say, you're going to go in knowing your deal breakers. If you follow if you watch my free webinar, it's going to explain how to come up with your deal breakers. You don't have a million, you have like 5 or 10 tops. Your job in the texting banter online and in your first video chat with someone before you go on a live date is to find out if that person has any of your deal breakers. There's simple things like, hey, what do you do to relax, right? Is it drinking? Is it drugs? Is it smoking, right? Like, are you a smoker? Sorry, I'm allergic. Cats or dogs, right? Simple things that are deal breakers. If they don't like your cat, if they're allergic to your dog, if they want to live across the country, these things need to be ruled out before you ever get on a physical date. And once a deal breaker is clearly there e- for you, and when you're in that exploratory phase, your job is to very, like you said, classy. I'm going to give you a canned response. It's very simple. You're going to use it every time. It's been lovely getting to know you. You seem awesome. I don't think this is a romantic match. I wish you the best of luck. Or something like that. Okay. And if you want to say, we're too far apart politically, or, I just think the geography wouldn't work, just to give them a nice bit of closure. You are welcome to do that. You don't owe it, but you're welcome to do it. If you're not that attracted, you don't need to say that. You can just say, I don't feel a significant spark, but thank you so much. I have countless experiences of kind, friendly interactions when it's not a match that then give you hope you're getting closer to your match and make you realize there are kind people in the world who want the best for you. So it doesn't have
Right.
to feel so bad.
I love this. It's such taking the high road and you just want to be kind. And you're right. Maybe different political views is not a deal breaker for some people. So you got to figure out your deal breakers. That might be politics, but there's so many other ones. Smoking,
So many.
a big drinker. Maybe somebody doesn't want to date someone who's been divorced 3 times or more. That could be a deal breaker for somebody. So
Yeah.
good advice. Okay, so you have in this article getting the best squeeze. So if you are wondering if it's worth it, here are the best ways to make it fulfilling. You said be selective with apps, but then also use your social circle, mutual friends, social clubs, and your kids' parents, like the kids. That's a biggie. Hey,
Come
I
on.
went that
Why
route.
not? Exactly.
Um, and even like a coffee shop could be just as effective as online. Do you think that these
Sure.
other more organic ways are coming back?
Oh, for sure, after COVID. I mean, I think everybody wishes we would just be able to meet people in real life because then you instantly know if you have chemistry or not. You instantly know what they really look like, things like that. Maybe they're connected to something in your community, which gives you a little bit more background, credibility, all that. So my my suggestion to my clients is always combined IRL in real life and online because they both help each other. So obviously if you're dating online, you're going to need the in real life skills anyway in a heartbeat. And if you're in real life, it's way more taxing. It takes more makeup, it takes more time, it takes more uncomfortable shoes. It just is more time consuming and more energy consuming. So if you're going to go out once a week, or you've exhausted all your friendships, then online is this great new pool that's always changing and always growing. And if you alternate back and forth, you kind of stay fresh in both. And to keep with the mall analogy, right? If you needed a dress for an event, you certainly could start with your friends' closets. You could certainly start with, hey, friends, do you know anybody who would be good for me? Because they know you. So that is like a matchmaker. But you wouldn't, if they didn't turn anyone up quickly, you wouldn't just skip the event. You'd go to the mall and look to see what's on sale. The other thing you need to know about using your friendship circles is your friends will forget just as quickly as they forget anything, right? Like that your kids are coming home in a month, whatever. They're not managing your life, they're managing their life. So you have to remind your friends because your friend, and you can't be like, oh, I told them that last year. I told them that a month ago. You have to go, they probably have met 10 new people since I last told them. Let me remind them. I think they might be the one who's going to find the person for me. And if they're your friends and they love you, they're not gonna be annoyed if you just remind them, "Hey, still looking. Did you meet anyone?"
And, you bring up a great point because a lot of people feel like I sound desperate. And it's all the way you frame it. You can say, listen, I'm really happy right now. My life's going great, but I would love to meet someone. It's not like my
Yeah,
happiness depends on it. You can say that. And that doesn't sound
right,
desperate to me at all.
right, and if you're talking to a friend or a family member, prefer my people be pre-vet. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, who wouldn't want their people to be pre-vetted by someone who knows them? That's just a nice advantage. You'd get a reference from you for a divorce professional, right? Like, I know Jackie. Jackie likes this person. That makes me trust that person more. Of
Because it
course.
feels warm and fuzzy and safe. You don't have to worry about some
Right.
psycho, because if anything happens to you, your friends know you're out with so and so.
Exactly. And that's why I like Facebook dating too, because it's kind of a hybrid. It's not a dating site, but it is a dating site, and it tends to show you people who you know, or you know someone who knows them, and so there is that. And by the way, Instagram is also, it can be a dating site if you use it that way. So there are
And
many
LinkedIn.
gradations
I
for
think
sure.
LinkedIn can be used as a dating site. You know the person's whole work history. I mean, it's
Totally.
not a bad way to go,
You just don't know if they're single all the time on LinkedIn. That's the
right?
problem.
You can't see the
That's
ring in the
That's
picture.
why that's why Facebook dating and dating sites are so amazing. It is a pond full of fish, and pretty much 97% of them are real and single.
And also, if you use LinkedIn, you can see their connections and you can ask somebody who knows them.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
wow, Lori, if I was single, I would go to you in a minute.
You would have hope, right? Because there's so many ways. There's so many
Okay,
ways.
one last thing I want to address because we're sort of running out of time, but how do you recognize red flags early? Like, when do you cut it off?
Well, to be clear, humans fall into two camps. Some that see too many red flags too soon and don't give the person a chance, and some that don't see the red flags and then end up in the same predicament over and over again. So, I'm talking to all of you. Right? This is why I have my clients create a 3H chart: head, heart, and hoo ha. What do I need logistically? What do I need to feel? And what turns me on? What's good chemistry to me? And no two lists are the same, Jackie. Everyone has a different set of criteria. So I've never met a person who's good at seeing their own blind spots, and red flags are by nature blind spots for us, right? What is a red flag for me is not the same as a red flag for you, but I have trouble seeing mine. That's why it's a problem for me, right? There's some things I obviously, like, I would never bother dating somebody who didn't live near me, but I really might miss if somebody, you know, I don't know, didn't have the same parenting style as I did, for example, right? Like, I just wouldn't, I have my blind spots. So we write it all down, and then I literally have you color code and score a score sheet, like a bingo card, as you get to know someone. So the deal breakers are bold. So as soon as a deal breaker is discovered, that's a definite no. But then you color code: red, no; green, yes; yellow, maybe, and you give scores. And I require 8 or above on a scale of 1 to 10 for head, 8 or above for heart, and 8 or above for hoo ha. So you're constantly looking at what are the red flags, what's great, and what does it end up scoring. And then if you're going on a fourth date, I want to know this person's liabilities, quote unquote. I want to know the 7 things about them that aren't great, the 7 things that could trip you up, the 7 things that he knows are his problem things, like he's not divorced yet, or he has 3 rowdy dogs, or he still has a kid at home that's troubled, or a health condition, or a money problem. If you don't know the 7 problems, I'm putting this in quotes, you haven't done your homework. You need to know the red flags, and there are always red flags. It's just
On
that
the fourth date.
by the fourth date, I would suggest, because if you're going to go forward with someone and get intimate with somebody, you need to know that the things about you that work are compatible, but also the things that aren't great about you are also compatible, because in the love of your life, their liabilities, quote unquote, don't bother you. or you can work with them, or you can stand them. Like you might never want to be with an alcoholic, but you could stand an over exerciser. You may never want to be with, a rager, but you're okay with someone who likes a lot of independence, right? Or is
Yeah.
stubborn or is
Yes.
arrogant. I like arrogance personally, which is great. It rules in a lot of men.
Okay, this sounds really good because you're right. There's going to be things in every relationship. So, what you're saying is find out about them early so you're not wasting your time being massively in love and then
Right.
having your heart broke
Eh,
because you found
that's
it.
how we get fatigued. Yes. And
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 do you
and tell
ask the
yours too.
person? Do you just
Well,
ask?
it this is a very complicated topic. This is an art and a science, okay, which is stage 3, right? The early dating stage is all about how to articulate the things about you that quote unquote don't work, and also how to elicit the truth from someone else, which it is, we don't have enough time to talk about it, but essentially you have to find ways of getting at it that are not yes no questions, that are not accusatory, that are not judgmental. You start by sharing your own. Listen, in the past in relationships there's been a financial inequality. It ended up feeling not great to me. Has that ever happened to you in relationships? What happened? Right, so you say things in such an open-ended way and in such a non-judgmental way that you actually elicit someone's vulnerability and someone's truth, where you can start to get to know what's their philosophy about how expenses are shared, or what's their political philosophy, or what's their philosophy on pets, or what's their philosophy on the involvement they want to have in their kids life or their grandkids life. Like what's that? And you can't just be like, so how much time do you spend with your kids, or do you like your grandkid? Like, you can't ask leading questions or yes or no questions. You have to find ways to articulate your situation and your concerns that are very non-judgmental and that bring out someone's honest, nuanced opinion on things.
Okay, Lori, here's my take from this whole conversation.
Sure.
You are someone who, if somebody really wants to find love, you're just like, go. You are shutting down a business. This is like a formula and
It's a formula.
uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, I want to first of all, Lori, say thank you so much. What a great conversation and podcast. Really appreciate the time.
You're very welcome. But I also want to say people come to me if they're not sure they're ready to date, also, or if they're in an early relationship and they're not sure it's right. And that's because it can be I have group coaching and you can watch other women go through the stages. And sometimes you're not ready. And I even have a quiz, right? Are you ready today? Like you mean it? And most people come to me not ready yet. And that's okay too, because that's a really important stage of finding the love of your life too.
Right, because you're gonna get them ready. Okay, love it. All right, so for those of you listening who are interested, you can go to LoriGerber.com, and it's Laurie, Gerber.com, and you can find out about her individual coaching, group coaching, and her online dating course called Master the Art of Love. Lori, thanks again.
My pleasure.
And you can also find Lori in the trusted professional section of Divorced Girl Smiling. Just go to divorcedgirlsmiling.com. And if you go there, you can read articles, listen to more podcasts, and sign up for my free consult. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. We'll talk to you real soon.